Buenos nachos, mi amigos. Don't adjust the color balance. Let me fix this first. What's going on, Brent? How are you, buddy? Toad, what's up? Don't adjust your color balance. I am a little pink. Going on, Bolt? I love you, man. I was looking at the screen. I'm like, something's missing. Oh, yeah, the microphone. Haji. Oh, I do what I can, Brent. I do what I can. So, yesterday, regretfully, I was not able to go live. I had to finish up all of the sorting from last week's breaks. The top loaders finally arrived. What in hell, Bolt? And I was able to get that done. So those are in the hands of the post office. I don't know if they do Sunday pickup, but there's a box full of blue packages right now. He-Man. Is that the Kevin Smith He-Man? Yeah, they're good. Um, the Ultra Pros are pretty good. I had 0 that were rounded or stuck together or sealed. All of them had pretty good sharp corners. So, unofficially, I'm a fan of Ultra Pro. Price was good too. Hey, Doug, how are you feeling, buddy? Ah, got it, Haji. Nice. Yeah, the old campy Batman or the old campy He-Man is fun. What's up, doing? I spent the day, pretty much the whole day. Mel, James, and I got to meet Doan and his wonderful wife, and we took a tour um, of Lockport and had some fantastic conversations. He is a fantastic guy. Had a lot of fun, and that pizza place was actually really good. I am fantastic, man. I am stoked. Oh, a long Halloween? Nice. So yeah, I told you guys. I told you if you guys reach out, well, good day to you. Belinda, how are you doing? I told you guys if you're in the area and I have a free day, I will be more than happy to meet you somewhere. I have to meet up with Justin. He's the only one on my list that I have for sure waiting. I promised him when I got back from my trip next week. Yeah, yeah, I got a little sunburn. James got a little bit on the back of his neck, but not bad. How is the seafood? In Buffalo, it's whatever. Oh, Doug. Hey, but the machines are cool, right? Like that's a pretty cool concept for a machine. That's what I dig about them is, the jackpot is it's either a silver plated coin or a solid silver coin, depending on and then for holidays they'll do certain coins, seasonal coins that are like limited release and dated. But awesome machines. I think they were a buck 25 a pull. But well, when I played, I think it was a buck 25 to hit the jackpot. Yeah, Belinda is. You guys had Delta blow through there, right? Just like in England. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that. That Delta variant of COVID is really nasty. I was looking into it. 80 cases a day. Yeah, that's no bueno. Nice. Dig it. That Delta, I did a little independent research from a couple of different sources, and one thing that everybody can agree is this Delta gets you to the viral load faster and spreads quicker because it viral load is faster. Right? That's what I'm saying. Here in the card industry, we like variants, but just not those kind. Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see, Haji. We'll see. I hope not either. With that said, I'm jumping on a plane on Monday. Even though I'm vaccinated, I'll be masked up. Yeah, Bolt, I heard you're not a huge fan of those. I don't think anybody should be, but good man. Clock in those hours. I know somebody in the chat had a scare, had to go get a test. Oh no, Belinda. I hope it doesn't affect you. Yeah. All right. Oh, good. As long as you won, Belinda. As long as you won, that's good. Nice. Dox them. Absurdly crowded. Okay. Um. So I have a little trip for next week, and then at the end of July, we're going to the National. Excuse me. I just woke up from my nap, so I'm a little tired. Amateurs. Amateurs. The next break night, unfortunately, is not going to be until the week after next. Because well, I don't think there could be one next week. Maybe something by sheer surprise could happen. I don't know. But nothing is planned. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I would pay very close attention to my social media next week. Starting with Monday, I would pay very close attention to my social media. Hint, hint. Oh, I know, Brent. Absolutely. I know. Yeah, don't. I immediately went home, took a nap. But yeah, keep tabs on my social media, i.e., my Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram page, and I do want to push this. Haji, I'm going to touch on that. Remind me when I'm done saying this, but I'll go. Um, I know people are trepidatious to get into social media. I am one. Now it's part of my job. I have to. Um, Instagram is what you make of it. Pretty much only the things you follow and only the things that the people that you follow are going to show up. Not a lot of unsolicited stuff pops up on Instagram, or at least that's from my point of view. Um. Oh yeah, Wolf. I would. The only thing I am concerned with is you would have to send it to me, and then you'd have to also send it back. So if you want to send me stuff to open for you, I would be more than happy to open stuff for you. But Instagram, yeah, I'm more than happy to do that for you, buddy. I'm more than happy to. Instagram, I have actually grown fond of. I've left Facebook. I left Twitter. Instagram, all I do is I follow you guys because I love you. Artists, card companies, athletes that I am personally fond of, not just random athletes. Ones that I have interest in personally as well as professionally. And family members. And Instagram and I'm not paid to say this about Instagram, but Instagram has a lot of pluses. Instagram is a medium that allows me to do these interviews with these great artists, and I do have more coming up. Spoiler alert, there are more interviews with artists coming up. I'm not going to drop names yet, but there's a couple of really big names in the card art world. One of them said, give me a couple of weeks. They're busy. The other one is like, when can we start? When I go to the National, we got some plans cooking for me doing a sit-down interview of some of these artists and some people that are in the industry. And it's really taken off. It's going to be very exciting. They were like, you have to go. Like, you don't have a choice. DC the Breaker has to be at the National this year. And after kind of working out the logistics, like, yeah, you know what? I could probably swing it. It's on my birthday. I have to pull a couple of birthday favors. And instead of gifts from family members, I was like, hey, you can pay for my ticket to this, or you can pay for gas there. What's up, Greek? How you doing, man? So in lieu of birthday gifts, I've just been taking like donations slash gifts from family members and putting them towards going to the National. Do I know any big shots that work at Tops? I met the president of Tops once. He would have no idea who I am. When I did the Tops thing for my last job, the boss was there, and I got to say hi to him. I got to meet Mr. Beckett, which was amazing because Beckett was a huge part of my youth. I still to this day have Beckett magazines with like Gretzky on the cover and stuff. Oh, everything's great, Greek. Same for you. So we're gonna drive to the National. We're not gonna spend all the days there because Mel has to work, and right now she's far and away the breadwinner. She is she's the boss. I mean, she's the boss anyway, but now she's like, whatever she says goes. Now I'm at her beck and call. But it's all because of Instagram, and they reached out to me, and it's working really well. And you're going to see me doing a lot more videos on Instagram, and I want everybody to see all of my content. And it doesn't cost you a dime for Instagram. It doesn't cost anything to follow me. All you need is your phone. As a matter of fact, Instagram works better on your phone than it does on a computer. I know because I tried. So I highly recommend, if you don't have an Instagram page, it really is truly worth dumping one of your other platforms so that you can go on Instagram. I really do like it. So yeah, it's about a 9 hour drive for us. So it's two of the days are going to be driving. I want to probably arrive the 27th and then spend maybe the 27th, the 28th in a hotel. So that'll give me 3 days at the thing and then maybe drive throughout the night on the third night. We're working it out. But I've had some people DM me and say, hey, listen, if you're going to be there, let's hook up. Let's do some stuff. So it is going to be quite cool. It is in Chicago. It is Chicago. There you go, man. So, I mean, a day ticket. Ed! What's up, buddy? How are you doing? A ticket for a day is only $19. So, cost really isn't an issue. There you go. It's about the same time. That is the rumor, Doug. Thankfully, I'm not going there to make any purchases or to do anything other than talk to collectors. Oh, I'm fantastic, buddy. I'm absolutely fantastic. That's right. My presence will improve it. So it'll be fun. It will be fun. Well, there you go. Doug knows him, so there's your answer. No, Brent, I'm not. I am at my moment where I am in my juncture in life. Um, I am really thinking and concentrating on how I want to collect. Now that I've really defined collecting in my own head much differently than I did 5 years ago, some of the things I have don't mean as much as they used to. Um, I am probably taking a step back from acquiring stuff. And once I really define how I want to collect moving forward, that's when I'll start heavily getting into that. It's regional, but yeah, yeah. Technically, yeah, you're right. Excuse me. I have no clue. Haji, I didn't even look at the group list. I'm going less for what's there and more for who's there as far as artists and people in the card art industry that are on that cutting edge of the new goods. Yep, and it is. So I'm there for reasons that are not necessarily in line with what the national stands for. I'm there for the artists. I'm there for the people. I'm not there for the cards. I probably won't pick up a single thing. More than likely, I might pick up some card art, but I don't think that I'll be buying any boxes or anything like that. Oh, there you go, Ed. There's $19, man. There's a day. So it's gonna be interesting. I want to see how feasible it is for me to walk around the floor with a microphone and camera, kind of grabbing people that I know and run into that are collectors and or artists and such. It's July 28th through I don't know the first something like that. Bolt, there will be plenty of opportunity. I'm not going anywhere. To quote Boondock Saints, where you going? Nowhere. Oh, it'll be a party. I actually heard the hotel rooms is where all the good trades happen. Somebody was like, "Oh man, you'll meet somebody on the floor, but you'll finally make the sale or the bid in the hotel room afterwards." That's where all the expensive stuff is locked up in the safe at the hotel. So I've heard these rumors of the backdoor hotel deals that certain hotels that certain people stay at is where you want to go for the real card deals. I've also heard a rumor that I'm not going to spread, but there's interesting, special, different kinds of card trades and uh, hard to find cards that happen Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Everyone getting in there and making the initial trade to put on their social media. But I'm not going as a buyer. I'm going as a social participant. Haji, I didn't know that. All right, Doug. Thanks, buddy. I had to look up what Barbara Bach looks like. She was in The Spy Who Loved Me. Thank you, Ed. Camera's backwards. Anyone have any experience selling rare or expensive liquor? Sort of, but not in the capacity that I know you're looking for. I used to sell very expensive wine for a company I worked for. I don't know if I'm going to be there all weekend. I think we're just going to be there for like the first 3 days. Or at least I believe that's the goal. Nice, Greek. What is it? A nice bottle of Pappy Van Winkle? Oh, yeah. I will have it on social media. I'll be live for. I will probably be live via social media for as much as they allow me to while I'm there. I want to kind of bring the national to you guys. A nice Bob Bugner. Doan, you give me the list of cards. I will go and try to find a Bugner for you. The Boogeyman. XR Waterloo Distillery. Goodness gracious, it sounds expensive. Yeah, quite frankly, I don't need the full 5 days to be there. I will do my business within the first couple of days. But we'll see. It's all new. It's different. Wow, Greek, there you go. Haji. Haji, I like where your head's at. Get you and three of your friends, have your three friends pitch in $500 and go camping with it. Basil? You related to Basil? She is a bit mannish. I am not a huge drinker. I will have a couple sips. I'll sip a couple shots. That's about it. Just man hands. That's a man, baby. Oh my goodness, Ice Wolf! Listen, that is pretty in line with what a lot of people do on Twitch. There's the guy that cuts up the cards, where you vote whether he cuts the pack in half before opening it or whether he opens it and keeps what's inside. That kid makes a small fortune. Somebody gifted me a subscription to his. I have this is crazy. I have like 5 or 6 gifted subscriptions. I've subscribed to like one person myself with my Prime subscription, and the rest of the subscriptions I have were gifted to me. I went to look at a page because I saw a lot of people were watching. I'd go to figure out what they're watching, and all of a sudden I'd be gifted a subscription. I'm like, whoa, thank you, whoever you are. There you go, Wolf. My dad just got a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue for the first for his birthday or for Father's Day. That's what it was, and he let me have some. I will. I mean, I'll try anything once. I'm not a huge bourbon person, but I understand it, the art behind making it, so I will try it once. Fun fact, I met the former master distiller of Jack Daniels. Um his name was I have his business card. What is it? His card is somewhere. I got to meet him and his wife, and I got to go on the Jack Daniels tour bus. And the Jack Daniels tour bus had Gentleman Jack on tap, a little like water dispenser built into the table that you just put your drink against, and it shot Gentleman Jack into your cup. What was Jimmy Bedford? I remembered. Can you believe that? I don't remember anything. Jimmy Bedford, former master distiller of Jack Daniels. I actually had 2 bottles of Jack Daniels signed by Mr. Bedford. I bought my dad a bottle and had Jimmy Bedford inscribe it to David Sr. And my father drank it, and I think he threw out the bottle. So that went over well. Yeah. Yep. And then Jimmy Bedford gave me his business card and said if I was, and this was back in I think '01. It was it was when I got out of the military. It was like my first job after the military, so it would have been '02, '02 or '03, '03. Yeah, it was '03. So in '03, he's like, here's my business card. I hand these out only in person. If you come to the distillery, hand them my card and tell them you're here because I sent you. And we'll give you a free tour and we'll give you a little swag bag. And he had his wife, amazing woman. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Um, it was something cool like Georgia or something like that. She was a lovely lady, very sweet, huge beaming smile, just a heck of a woman, very nice lady. And Jimmy Bedford and his wife sat and talked to me about his favorites and understanding the difference between green label, white label, and black label, and the blue label, Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels. I can't believe I said Johnny Walker. Um, and he was just really, really cool and told us how it was made, and why certain things are available in certain places and why they're not. And I told him, I was like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I said, but I respect the art of making it. And he's like, come by anytime, see us. I will definitely come see you if you come see me. But that I never took him up on the offer. But I still have his business card. She had a nickname. She had a nickname she went by. I don't know if it was like Peaches or something like that. But there was she went by a nickname. He had a nickname for her. Oh, he died in 2009. Well, that's sad. He was a great guy. Very, very great guy. Yeah. Gee, I get it, man. Yeah, his wife had a nickname. I just don't remember what it was. Maybe it was Peaches or something along those lines. But he had a name that he called her, and that's what he had everybody call her. But yeah, she was great. He was great. Very nice guy. Very well spoken. Very intelligent man. Again, it just goes to show I find myself in these crazy predicaments meeting random people, and it's like you I was just there. Like, oh yeah, hey, you're Jimmy Bedford. That's cool. You want to sign this bottle? I'll buy it. Just randomly there. Saw the bus and I pulled up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on the bus. It's a very nice bus, by the way. The the bus um had a table that was one of those shadow box tables that had like tickets and events and like NASCAR passes and Indy passes and like permanently embedded in the table. And that was all the places that the bus had gone. And I thought that was cool. Yeah, that's why I don't drink like that anymore. Recovery time is too much. I remember the insanity when I worked at the nightclub, just the amount I would drink and the next day pop up and be like, all right, let's go on day two. Let's do it. The spirit lives on. But yep, yep. I've so many random awesome encounters. It's just fun. I always find myself seeing somebody crazy for no reason whatsoever other than just happen to be there. I fully expect to meet or run into somebody either at the National or on my trip next week that I'm just like, oh, hey, I was randomly bump into this person. I'll be at the airport on Monday and I'll be sitting probably next to somebody and be like, oh, hey, I know you. It just happens that way. It also helps that I try to stay busy too. So, who's got plans for tonight and tomorrow? Some of you that this is just the precursor to you going out. Uh, once, once, once. I'm gonna say once. What's up, Ringa? Ah, that's fine, man. Hey, I appreciate you watching, man. I'm glad I can give you the entertainment. I do appreciate you watching me. Hopefully I can keep you watching. Hopefully my content's still good. Yeah, that's hot, Brent. I think it was only like 75 or 77 today here. Yeah, Belinda. Absolutely. Belinda, do you play I know you're a PC person. Do you have any consoles? Oh, thanks, man. Well, you also have to remember, Haji, I worked at nightclubs, so almost everybody knew who I was when I was out partying. Deep fried Oreos, don't get me started, doing. Yeah, they're so good. I forgot how good he is. Only 105 in Portland? Oh, that ain't bad. Gotcha. Yeah, I left PS4 to join the Xbox brigade, all because of Bethesda, because I'm a Bethesda buffoon. I would love to go back to. I used to be computer gaming. The problem is now that I am where I am in life, I just don't have time to sit in front of a computer. I can do it on a console because at any given time, my son and or my wife can throw me off the console since it's on the living room TV, and I have an excuse to leave. If this computer I worked on, it doesn't even have a proper video card. It doesn't. Um, I purposely bought it without a decent card. It has a stock card in it. It's not even a name brand one. Um, I would never leave this room, and my family never see me. Hold on a second. That's not what I wanted. Let me go over here. Deep fried Twinkies. I think I've had one. Oh my God, this is true. Oh, you just opened a can of worms. I swear this is true. When you go to the Texas State Fair, at the Texas State Fair, deep fried butter. I'm not lying. They did it. Deep fried butter. It's a small sliver stick of butter that is frozen, battered, and then fried. The Wisconsin State Fair has it too. They freeze the butter, they bread it, or they put it in like a I don't remember what the name of it is, the coating, and then they fry it to the point where it is almost it's just soft again. By the way, I love that you guys love Legos too, and your Lego sets. So I haven't even. Oh, I wouldn't. I can't. I could not fathom eating deep fried butter. I purposely have not showed Mrs. the Breaker, aka Mel. I have not showed her any of your pictures of the Lego sets that you sent me, and I'm not going to, because I want to pay mortgage next month, and if she sees them, we'll be homeless. Deep fried beer. Interesting. There's a place in Buffalo called Chocolate Bar. And at Chocolate Bar, they have chocolate shot glasses. So you get a shot of Godivas in the chocolate shot glass. You just pop the whole thing in your mouth and eat it. Do not send an invite to Mel. She is not allowed on the Discord. She's banned from Discord. I have no part of my life that she's not in. She works from home. I work from home. She's on my Instagram. She's in my chat at work. Please, just give me the Discord. Two words she said. Send it. Roy, what's up? What's up, Roy? It'll never happen, man. She's here forever. There's no hiding from her. I see you. I'm checking you out. Oh yeah, man. We have spent way too much money at that Lego store already. It's funny because we lived right near Legoland in Florida. I never went. I believe Mel took James, but I never got to go. Roy, how are you doing, bud? I saw those, yeah. Yep. They also opened a Lego store on Fifth Avenue that has a lot of exclusives. It opened up last Friday. We have mostly Harry Potter, a couple of Avengers, and a few Star Wars. Good, man. Well, you know what? Keep typing. Rest those pipes, man. Rest those lungs. Breathe nice deep breaths so that you don't get pneumonia, because shallow breaths lead to pneumonia. Oh, I thought you went with his cousins. Never mind. All right, sorry if there's going to be some interference with the microphone from the fan. I got to open it. It's getting a little warm in here. Oh, I'm making you laugh. Good. Well, that'll pull the oxygen out of your lungs. I learned when I was going to school for medicine, because I was going to be a NFL sports not doctor, but I wanted to do sports medicine. Then I found out you basically had to be a doctor, and I stopped. That was one of the things that we learned. Yeah, I wasn't streaming yesterday, Scuba. Yesterday. I learned that it's the shallow breaths when you have either lung damage or certain colds that will lead to pneumonia. And the best way to prevent pneumonia if you're sick or have a lung infection is to, even if it's painful, take the deep breaths every few breaths to get oxygen and get mass into your lungs, air mass into your lungs, and it prevents fluid from building up and it keeps the bottoms of your lung healthy. The typewriter looks amazing. You guys want to have a good time? You guys want to get the attention of somebody famous? For those who like Tom Hanks, which should be 99% of you, I can think of only one person in this chat that wouldn't like Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is obsessed with typewriters. What you need to do is buy the set, build the typewriter, ship it securely to him. You send everything to his production company. That's how he receives it. And I will nearly guarantee you he will send you a typed letter response because he is such a big fan of typewriters that if nobody's thought of that yet and you're the first one to do it, Tom Hanks will send you a letter. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I will wager you, I don't know. I will wager you Oh, I can't believe that happened. Well, let's go to a different one. I will wager you an autographed mustache that says, I guarantee if you did that, if you sent him the completed typewriter, I bet you he would respond. I bet you he will respond. He is a fanatic. So when people, and this is true because I love Tom. I'm going to argue and say Tom is my favorite actor of all time based on his entire body of work. I love Tom Hanks. He is a master at acting. I mean, if you look at his body of work, the man has done it all. He's great. He's fantastic. I love Tom Hanks. I really seriously do. And I follow him on a lot of social media. I think Tom is great. And all the time I see people posting that he sends them letters and even typewriters from his typewriter collection because he has a typewriter collection. He has he is very big. If you write him a letter, he usually responds. He's just amazing when it comes to that. But um the cup doesn't like Tom Hanks. That's true, Roy. That is actually very true. I am a huge fan of Clint Eastwood. I think some of the stuff that especially Clint has done later in life has been spectacular. Um Gran Torino, phenomenal film. He was very good in there. Bachelor Party 2. He'll host it in Greece. Scuba, I love you, dude. But yeah, Clint has just done and directing. What a director! Guy is good beyond the lens. Stay off my lawn. Yeah, stay off my grass. Yeah, I like Clint. I like there's masters. I'm just saying one of my favorites is I grew up with Tom Hanks more or less. I mean, Big was when I was a few years old, and I remember watching and seeing the silly, adult acting like a kid and just loving it. He should have gotten more awards for Gran Torino. He should have gotten a lot more than he did. I concur with that 100% too. That's right, Tanks. Tanks. He actually he signs his stuff Hanx. Hanks. Yeah, Forrest Gump was supposed to have a sequel featuring his son growing up through the tech era, and his son is supposed to be a super genius, and how it's through his son's eyes and through him watching and talking about his son, and his son being like this tech wizard and all the things that happened later the next 30 years after that movie came out. Um, so that was supposed to happen. I don't know if they're still putting it on the back burner, but I would love to see the second installment that was about his son. And you'd literally call it either Forrest Gump the second or Forrest Gump Jr. because he had the same name. Or Forrest and then whatever her name was. Jenny whatever. It was a fine movie. What a great movie. But yeah, I have a man crush on Tom in a polite kind of way. Like I would oh yeah, and that's the point, Scuba. The point is to make a movie about the 20 to 30 years that happened since the last one and his son growing up. There's a sequel book. I'll have to look into that. Tom is one of those people that although he's really busy and wouldn't have time for me, I could easily spend almost an entire day having a conversation with him just about life and experiences. And just strikes me as a very bright and intelligent person when it comes to understanding how the world works when it is acting in the acting world. You could, Scuba. You could. You have a striking resemblance. All you need is to keep a nice high and tight haircut. And you're wicked smart. Scuba, the all-dressed Lays are delicious. If they don't sell where you work, I'm sorry. They're the number one selling flavor in Canada. All dressed is a phenomenal chip. I'm referring to your message to me earlier, so some of you aren't going to know what we're talking about. It's like a little bit of barbecue, a little bit of salt and vinegar, and a little bit of like a third one. They're delicious. I highly recommend them. If you're into complex flavors, the all dressed ones are good. Hashtag Lays. Oh, easily, Brent. Easily. What? It's been like, what, 20 years, 30 years since they've been in the cup? Something stupid? There you go. There you go, Dylan. They're really good, Scoop. They really are. 28 years? Okay, I knew it was something like that. I admire Montreal. I'm not saying I admire the players. I admire the franchise and the history of the franchise. The original Stanley Cup is in Montreal. The one that's floating around now is a copy. The Montreal won so many Stanley Cups that the original is in Montreal. It's Scuba. You don't have to do that, man. It's available here. The all dressed is basically Buffalo is southern Canada. So we have all the good stuff that Canada has in most of our stores. Truth be told, I can go to any store and pick up an all dressed. But thank you. If you guys want to surprise me, if you guys want to impress me, you got. Actually told Doan about this today. Honey sriracha combos. They're not available everywhere in the United States. They're limited to certain areas of the U.S. I think they're only down south. Honey sriracha combos are my kryptonite. That is my number one go-to snack. I would if there's a place that has honey sriracha that are not $10 a bag, don't ever. They're online. I know they're online, guys. I'm aware that they're online. I'm just not paying $10. I'm not paying $10 for a bag. You can find them at gas stations in Florida. Like, seriously. You can never abuse honey. You can never abuse sriracha mayo, Belinda. It's not possible. Not possible. The honey sriracha ones, like we go to a gas station in Florida and they'd have them. I'd buy 5 bags. They're that good for me. For my flavor profile, they're very, very sweet and they're very honey forward. And the sriracha kicks at the end, and it's choice. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do that hand signal anymore. That hands. I apologize for anyone offended by that hand signal. Apparently, that has been adopted by people. So I'm old. I still think that means okay. I need to be more, I don't know, sensitive. I'm sorry. They are choice. I highly recommend them. Pimento. Yeah, Johnny Hodge, that's caviar of the South, buddy. What you know about that caviar of the South? I do. 58 hours. Nice. Well, hey, listen, Scuba, if you enjoy your job, it doesn't matter how many hours you work because it never feels like you're working. The last place I worked, it didn't really feel like I was working until it was towards the end. Then it was painful. But now, I like doing this. Yeah, absolutely they do. I'm familiar with Bojangles. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Texas and Florida. I'm familiar, bud. I am familiar. I like it the food. I got a tummy. I like it the food. Mm-hmm. Cajun chicken. Oh, don't get me hungry, man. We went to a really nice pizza place, Molinaro's um in Lockport. The reason we went and didn't go to my buddy Frank's, the reason we went is it's 2 doors from my house. It's literally, I'm sorry, 3 doors. It's 3 doors down, not the band, but the actual location. It's 3 doors down from my house, and we're like, we got to try this pizza place because if it's good, it's 3 doors down, and we can just walk over and get pizza anytime we're in a pinch. And it was good. We were very happy with it. But yeah, you guys keep talking about food. I'm gonna have second dinner, and that's not good for the waistline. Scuba, are you happening to speak of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Sammy. It was nice. It was nice because it's very nice. Cattleman's Ranch should be good. So let me tell you a steak story, and I'm sorry, my vegan and vegetarian friends, but this will sound terrible to you. So if you are vegan or vegetarian or are offended by the eating of that wonderful flesh that is the cow, you might want to tune out for 10 minutes. Ooh, 45K. Scuba, how about no? Um, there's a place. It's actually a chain, believe it or not. And I hate to say this because usually chains don't go good. Meat. Sorry, Belinda. What was that? What was that Bill Cosby movie? Leonard Part 8, I think it was. They were all vegans. And he had war. Oh, this is so stupid. This is such a dumb movie. I should not be laughing. I haven't even told the story yet. Oh God. I listen. Bill Cosby. Yeah, he did horrible things allegedly and convictedly. But I have to listen. He did. The movie was stupid. It was like Leonard Part 8, and I'll get back to my meat story. But in the movie, the bad guys were vegans, so he attacked them with fudge. He attacked them with like ground raw hamburger, and they would make their heads explode. I swear this is real. And like there were attack lobsters and melted butter. This is so stupid. How does this movie get made? Like how? Listen, if you got there's a podcast for you guys, and here's another free endorsement. How did this get made? How did this get made? Amazing podcast. Watch it. It's got three great actors in it that talk about how movies get made, and they pick the worst movies in the world and say, "How did this get made? It's terrible." They need to do a Leonard Part 8 one, but it's the stupidest movie in the world. It's dumb, it's awful, but because it's so dumb and avant-garde, it's funny. But so steaks. Sorry, I had to go on that tangent. You wouldn't expect anything less from me. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's be real. You're here because of the tangents. Um, there's a place called, and really honestly, Sean Creepa, by the way, I love you, man. Oh, Sean, I have something. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, when breaking resumes in a couple weeks, um, yeah, it is Haji. There is a new addition to the screen. I might have to buy a third camera to keep it focused on. This is courtesy of our dear friend Sean, aka the Creepa, aka the King of the Cincinnati Reds. It's back. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It is better than the last one. This is. Oh, that's okay, Belinda. You can yell at us all you want. This is really nice. As a matter of fact, Sean, this is like kind of too nice. Like, I feel like I have to, like, now have to track you down and, like, give you a hug or something. Yeah. The last one was accidentally throw out. When I had my micro stroke or whatever they call it. When I had the micro burst in my brain. This is heavy. This is that really heavy. It's heavy. This is, you will not accidentally knock this over. This is heavy. When I got it, I was like, oh my God. The box made it look like it was 3 feet tall, but it was in so much, it was just heavy. Heavy. Listen, Creepa, if I find you, man, it's going to be one of those really long, awkward embrace hugs. Ask Doan, I'm a hugger. It's true. He got hugged like 3 times today. But yeah, it's back, and it's better than ever. Thank you, Sean, for the lovely gift. I will treasure it. And if for some reason I get to the point where I'm not doing breaks anymore, this is coming back to you autographed in gold pen. I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. It is. It is. And you know what, Doan, listen. If you guys want a good hug, Doan's the dude to hug. Not to throw you under the bus, Doan. Cards, right? Yeah, it's exciting. So let me get back to steaks. We are way off from steaks right now. Heavy. Um, there's a place. It's called BJ's Steakhouse or Brewhouse. Brewhouse. It's a chain now. It originated in Texas. I used to go to the original one in Texas. It's just outside Katy. It's in Katy, just outside Houston. Um, the the steak there, the sirloin steak, I think it's like an 8-ounce sirloin steak, is like $9.99. I ordered it because I was on a group. I was having dinner. I'm too greasy. I have lidocaine gel on my head because of the sunburn, so it's not going to stick. Sean gave me ears too. Their root beer is good. Their craft beer is good too. They I was there for work because our workplace took us to BJ Steakhouse, and they are a chain. But let me tell you, it's a scratch kitchen, and what that means for those who don't know what a scratch kitchen is, and for those who do, I'm sorry to explain it. Scratch kitchen means everything is made in-house. Nothing's frozen. Nothing's pre-made. Nothing's pre-packaged. It's a scratch kitchen. Everything is made there. Because they're a chain, they can kind of afford to do that because they have all of the ingredients separated at a central location and then sent to the different locations for it to be made. Nothing is frozen. That's the thing. They locally source all of their meat. So, when you order a steak from there, that cow was killed a couple days ago or like a day ago, and it's refrigerated, never frozen. The steak you have there now, the one in Katy, the source of the cows was literally down the road. So you're getting the freshest steaks on planet Earth. Now, I'm a little biased because I was at the nice one, the big one in Katy. For $10, I had the greatest steak I ever had in my life, and I've been to $125 steakhouses where it's $125 for the steak, and you bought the fries on the side for a la carte $25. This $10 steak was the best sirloin steak I ever had. Now, granted, sirloin. I'm not talking about, filet. But their sirloin is the best sirloin you'll ever put in your mouth. It's $10. I would accept an endorsement from them, and what can I say? I love BJ's. They have craft beer. They brew their own beer on location. If you're into that, they have the ribs. I believe they are Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper. Ribs, Dr. Pepper flavored ribs. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, it's kind of like that. There is a place down there. I don't remember the name of it, but there is a high-end steakhouse where you go and you do pick out your steak down there. I think it's it's called like I don't remember. It's got a weird name. The name of it is almost a sentence, and like it was high end, and you picked your steak. Yeah, Jack Daniel's at TGI Fridays. This was Dr. Pepper. It was Dr. Pepper barbecue ribs. Food, glorious food. Please, sir, may I have some more? Oh, Belinda, by the way, I am through Bluey, I am learning your accent, and I don't mean to be offensive when I do it, but and Mel knows I love the Australian accent. I do. On women and men, it's just great. And I've actually been watching videos just to hear. I will have a video of people talking with a Australian accent on the background while I work because I just love the sound of the accent. And I'm learning, I'm learning it because I want to be able to kick into that. For instance, I can switch into the French accent very easily. It is not difficult for me to go to a French accent because I speak French. So I want to go into one of them, the Australian accent. And I can do the German one too. But Australian one is a little bit tricky. You have to kind of relearn how to say words. And it's awesome how you do it. I'm not knocking you guys, by the way. I really do love you guys. And Bluey, even though Bluey is a very muted one, I love it. It's the best. It is. It's so great. Kiwi accent is a killer. But it was like they were going into like the girl who it's on A Real Thick Kiwi. There was a girl on YouTube who does those oh, dude. Doan, that is amazing. I am jealous. That is super cool. Super cool, dude. Super cool. Do I like cars? I like cars. It's just cheating. Oh, and the Scottish one. That one's a bit easy too. All you got to do is keep your mouth open, speak from the back of your throat. Yes. And everything is a question? until it's not. That's what I learned about the Aussie accent. Everything is a question until it's not. Raging Willie. That's Raging Willie. And the Irish one is a bit different too, because all you're doing is talking from the front of your mouth. You're really keeping your lips a bit pursed. So the Irish one and the Scottish one is very different. Oh, you mean like Binda? Shaza. I love it. I do. I really do. If if I lived a different life, if I would have been more serious about school, I honestly, and this sounds ridiculous, I could see myself being a professional linguist, somebody who knows like 5, 6 languages, and does work with language because I love language. I think it's fantastic. That's kind of why I have a fairly decent vocabulary, is because the English language, while difficult to learn, can be a lot of fun once you've mastered it. And I love the sounds of other languages. That's why I got into French and a little bit of Spanish. Um, and some Swahili. Swahili's a lot of fun. I'm not joking. I can't say anything clean in Swahili. I know a lot of dirty things to say in Swahili, but it is good stuff. And I'm not going to say it on here because I choose not to swear. But I know filthy things to say in Swahili. Scuba, I would love to take you up on that, but with us taking a trip the last week of July, that is really going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I won't be able to go on a trip for a while. Biblioteca. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? ¿Dónde está la tableta? It's basically words with at the end. Hey, give me the tablet. I'm sorry, what is that? Oh, I'm sorry, give me the tableta. Hey, let me see that chick. Who? Oh, I'm sorry, let me see that chica. Hey, let's go to the discotheque. Oh, you mean the discoteca. It's the complex stuff that I don't get. The accent is all wrong. Yeah, it is. On purpose. The way you're oh, this is okay. You guys are killing me. Um Yo quiero Taco Bell. So I took this is so stupid. I did Rosetta Stone for a little while. Scuba, I'll come to your house and like sleep under your bed like a dog, or I'll sleep at the foot of your bed like a dog. Don't dare me. I'll do it. Um I started learning Rosetta Stone Spanish because I had this fantastic idea of talking to my wife's family in Spanish, and then I realized everything I was learning on Rosetta Stone was absolutely useless. And the guy who they hired to do like book one of Rosetta Stone had like the greatest voice in the world. He was definitely a voice actor. And he would like the sentences were the most useless sentences you'll ever need. Like the girls drink water, or the girls are going swimming, or the boy is sitting. Like stuff that I'm never gonna use. And one of them was and this I'll do his voice because I can. Mel will tell you, and if you've listened to the Rosetta Stone Spanish series, you'll recognize this voice. But So, so like she would be like, "Oh, hey honey, what did you learn today?" And I'd be like, "Los niños lee. Las niñas lee. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Un es muy guapo." And that's how the guy sounds. So for me to and I for linguistics, I will listen to an accent. That's how I learn the accent. Is like the French accent. I can listen to somebody speak French and I can listen to somebody speak with an accent, and if I listen to them long enough, I can copy their accent. It's I was an actor. We did that. So unfortunately, that's how I also learned that accent. So now I have this super bassy Spanish accent. Ahora. Like just it's ridiculous. Yeah, we in Buffalo call it the Beelo, mostly because it blows. I love Buffalo. I do. I love Buffalo. I love Buffalo, but Buffalo is a black hole. No matter where you go in the world, you are always sucked back into Buffalo. Again, I love it. I wouldn't trade being a Bills fan for the world. Um, the Sabres are shite, to borrow a word from the UK, and only borderline swear. But I love them, even though I'm now a Kraken fan as well. So I've got my East Coast and my West Coast team. J'aime les chevaux. Chauvet. Chauves. Chavez. Jamie Les Chavez. That's the name I book into my hotels in big cities so nobody knows I'm DC the Breaker. Yeah, I'm Jamie Les Chavez. Love bald guys. I bet you do. Yeah, Scuba, I can be frustrating. But once you get to know me, I'm like a bean dip. I got layers. Once you get through the layers. The onion metaphor was already taken by Shrek, so I go with bean dip. By the way, not a bean dip fan. I just don't think lettuce should be on my chips. And I can't stand sour cream. No, hold the sour cream on everything. Onions! Onions have layers! That's true. That's right. There you go, Sean. Can you hear that? Cake. Cake is layers. I love cake. Oh, I love lamp. Wait, did someone say cake? You know what's funny? Mel has that voice on lock. Yeah, Belinda, let's talk about sports because that's technically what I was supposed to be doing. How about some spectator who just couldn't get close enough to the action thought, hey, listen, I am so important. I am so important. I need to be in the Tour de France as a spectator. Causes a major day one crash. I'm not gonna lick it on camera. For free. No, I'm not going to do it. I would hope that I didn't debase myself to that point. Oh, absolutely. I know. Listen, and this is true. I'm not knocking anybody here. Listen, I'm being serious. I've toured. I've been to a lot of countries in my life. I think I've been to 9 countries in my life, and I don't want to start a negative discussion here. So when I say this, I mean, I'm already treading badly because I have to give a warning to what I'm about to say. This is universally accepted, and I'm not joking. This is a fact. So please, I don't mean to offend anybody that may have this heritage in here. The 2 most feared tourists on planet Earth are the Americans and the Chinese. Hear me out. I'm not knocking the Chinese. I'm really not. Most major things that are destroyed of architectural and historical significance, the culprits can be typically watered down to Americans or Chinese. I'm not singling out Chinese. The Americans are the number one offenders. That's actually a fact. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Belinda, I know, I saw it. I saw it. Um Most relics that are in the world are damaged by either Americans or Chinese tourists. That's actually a fact. You can look it up. That is, see, Belinda, the Chinese government actually made I'm sorry, I can't make that anymore. Actually made a proclamation that their own citizens be more respectful. That is a fact. Belinda, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's actually where I get this from. And Brent, to a degree, yes, I absolutely agree with you, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the government is. I'm not going to get into government politics, but Brent, me and you agree on the same thing. The government over there is terrible. But I'm not going to get into that. That's just my opinion. Please, let's move on. But I'm definitely understanding and respecting that, Brent. But there is a cultural. That's true, Creepa. It is a cultural desire of the 2 cultures, the Chinese culture and the American culture, to insert ourselves and to immerse ourselves in other countries' cultures. And this is where it stems from. There is a belief that we are visiting this place, that we should immerse ourselves in this. And as Americans, we tend to be haughty people. It's a fact. I'm American. I can say this. We tend to think that we can just go wherever we want. And there's a lot of places in the world don't have chains and velvet ropes and gates blocking you from the natural beauty of the things that are out there. You can go right up to the fountains in Italy, and you can sit on the side of the fountain, these gorgeous marble fountains. You can walk up to statues inside their museums. And because the people that live there, they want you to be as close to these things and see these things up close. And unfortunately, Americans and the Chinese take it as an invitation to climb on these things, to touch these things, to be on these things, and things are constantly destroyed because the Chinese and the Americans have the one thing we have in common is lack of limits. And I'm not trying to speak ill. I'm simply trying to explain the article, and I wish I could quote the article, but I can't. But Belinda, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not. This is common knowledge elsewhere in the world. We don't have that restraint. We want to be in and be part of that art. There was an American about, I don't know, 7 years ago that broke the hand off of a 200-year-old marble statue. There was a Chinese kid, a little kid, that the parents were like, go get on top of this art piece, and completely destroyed the art piece because there wasn't, I mean, there was a tiny thin chain stopping you from being on there, but it wasn't blocked off. But if you actually look at some of the major heritage sites that were destroyed, it is destroyed by Americans carving their name on the side of rocks. Thank you, Brent. Thank you. Um, I miss you, Scoob. I wish you could be here too. I would love to go to Bali. Don't get me started on that. Um, and Bora Bora, just because somebody said it once and I thought it sounded cool. But there is an issue with people going, yeah, Ice Wolf, yep, millennia, rock standing for millennia. There was a scout troop. Oh, I don't know if there were scouts. Don't let me misspeak. There was a troop, a camping troop, that went to in here in America that went to and knocked over a table rock. A table rock that had been standing since the beginning of the time. They thought it would be cool to rock it until it fell over so that they could have, and I swear to you, they wanted to have the last picture of it standing. So they took the picture of them sitting on the rock and standing with the rock, and then they toppled it so that no one else would have that photo. Are you kidding me? That's deplorable. Another word that has been hijacked by politics. But it's awful. Exactly, Creepo. You look with your eyes. When I go to, I'll give you an example. I like to say I'm respectful. When I go to the Albright Knox Art Museum, or when I go to any of the museums in any of the cities that I go to, I ask if I can take a photo of a painting. Because believe it or not, the flash of cameras can destroy paintings. Certain types of varnishes are light sensitive. Most of those have been restored with new varnishes, but there are some in existence. I asked to see, am I allowed to get close to it? I don't get close to it. I find every single room, if you go to a museum, every room is going to have somebody that's watching the work. They're not security guards. They're simply people that are, either volunteers or employees that are in the room to watch the art. You can ask them. They're informed. They will tell you what you're allowed to take a photo of, what's trademarked and you can't take a photo of, how close you're allowed to get, and so on, if you can do flash photography. Simply walk up and ask, hey, am I allowed to go near this? Hey, can I get close to this? Hey, is it okay if I, those are called docents? 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 I'm sorry. We can pronounce that. But it's if you ask, you'll be amazed. Albright Knox. Yeah, right. Yeah, can I eat this? This looks good. Albright Knox, there's a lot of things that you can get really close to the art. There's no glass covering a lot of them. Like, you can get up in there and take a look. The Albright Knox Museum had the painting by Salvador Dali called The Birth of Man or Origins of Man. I think it's Birth of Man. It's a person inside of an egg that has like the earth printed on it with some background stuff. It's small. It's one of the most beautiful paintings I've ever seen in my entire life. It was striking. And I was 3 inches away from it. No plexiglass in front of it, no nothing. Because I said, hey, am I allowed to get close to this? They're like, there's a yellow line on the floor, a red line on the floor. You can walk up to the red line. Can I take a photo of this? Yes. Please don't use flash photography. All of the paintings are lit, so you don't need a flash. Cool. I was 4 inches away from this Dali that is completely uncovered. I'm 4 inches. Oh, I'm breathing almost on this Dali. And I had this beautiful photo that for the longest time was the background of my computer screen. Because I asked, and I would go into each room, hey, I'm allowed to take a photo of this. Yeah. De Kooning's. If you don't know who De Kooning is, I recommend follow. De Kooning made some great stuff. I was in, I want to say it was either Houston or, I don't know. I went to one, I think it was either Houston, it was either Florida or Houston. And there was a water lilies, one of the many versions of water lilies that Monet made. And I was 2 feet away from a Monet. They won't let you hold the Mona Lisa, I'm sorry. But if you just ask, you'll be amazed what you're actually allowed to do. And there were times like you can ask for private tours for a small donation, for a small fee, for like, hey, $50. If I donate $50 to the tip jar, can somebody take me around? There are ways, and I know this for a fact because I may or may not have done it and may or may not be allowed to say that I've done this. if you talk to the right person and you say the right things and you make the right small dollar donations, or even without donations, you just talk to the right people. If you just like, hey, I'm interested in this, I really want to see something like this. All of these museums have back rooms and basements that have art that's not on display. That if you can talk to the right person and be respectful, you can be let into a little room where they have a piece of art just sitting on a table. Or they have a statue that's under a cloth and they'll take the cloth out the statue, like, yeah, this is done by this person. This is a Caravaggio. Isn't that cool? Being respectful goes a long way. And a lot of these pieces that get damaged are because people just don't take the time to see what they can and cannot do. There is, you get a gel pen. That's right, Scuba. You tip him $20, you get a gel pen. Mel, that was solid joke. Oh, Doan, listen, come with me, dude. I. All right, Mel. I'm sorry, I have to tell this story. So I was 18 years ago. 18 years ago, I was in a relationship with a woman, and her father was donated a lot of money to the Albright Knox Museum, um, and basically paid for a renovation of a wing. And because of that, she was allowed to kind of have carte blanche. She could go there after hours as long as she called somebody and let them know, hey, we're going to just take a quick tour. Um, if they were closing, they'd be like, hey, I'm so and so. So we would be like, hey, it's closing at it's 7 o'clock. We're like, we're going to be there from like 7 to 8. They'd be like, yeah, you're allowed to. You're like, we could walk in. It was free. We didn't have to pay for anything. Somebody would walk with us if we wanted. Um, and it was kind of like, just don't touch anything. Like, the place would be shut down. They would leave the lights on. We would walk through by ourselves or with somebody guiding us. And we would be like taking pictures standing next to the, um, oh, there you go, Doan. I don't know very much art history, but I know what I like. Um, so it was a perk, and I think we only did it once that I can remember. The rest of the time we were there during normal hours. But we were just respectful. I mean, obviously she had a big last name that was a famous last name for the area or for the Albright Knox Museum, which helped. But the fact that we weren't, I mean, we were kids. I was only like 22, 23. And they were like, yeah, there you go. Yeah, just what do you want to see? We're like, oh, we want to take a look at this. They're Warhols. They had Warhols. They had de Koonings. They had a bunch of stuff. They had a modernist wing. They had a really awesome abstract wing. Like, there was just cool stuff. And they were just like, yeah, just go hang out. Cool, because we were respectful. But yeah, unfortunately, Americans and the Chinese are the two that are just the worst of the worst when it comes to going places and destroying culture. No, God, no, no. I'm respectful. Um, that would be interesting. I theoretically know how to take apart a combustion engine and put it back together. I say I theoretically know how to do it because I took a test that made me label every single part of a combustion engine and then write out the order of operations for the deconstruction and reconstruction of one for machinist school, but I've never done it. And you are absolutely right, Brent. It's there is a lot of things that are happening that are questionable. Um, for instance, my wife will tell you Christopher Columbus to Puerto Rico is the Antichrist. Christopher Columbus almost single-handedly wiped out the Taino Indians in Puerto Rico, devastating Puerto Rican culture. That's not a something that's taught in school unless you live in Puerto Rico. And John Leguizamo actually mentioned it in one of his things. Christopher Columbus is not seen as a good guy in Puerto Rico. As an Italian myself, he's a hero, even though he sailed for Spain because nobody in Italy would give him money to sail. He sailed for Spain. Um, and they're not even sure if he discovered anything. Everything seemed to have been discovered. They're finding in Canada, they're finding Viking settlements from 1200, which predates Columbus by 200 years. That is true. Mel is actually 20% Taino Indian. She is one of not a lot of Puerto Ricans have the Taino left in them. Oh, they did. The Vikings were great. They were like, we're sailing somewhere, and when we're done, we're flipping our boat upside down and we're making a house out of it, and that's where we're going to live until we die. That's how you do a vacation, Vikings. UFOs probably did discover everything. Oh, you know what, Brent? So, okay, guys. I'm not Mark Hoppus. By the way, Mark, I know you're watching. Get well, buddy. Mark Hoppus diagnosed with cancer. He's been going through a month of cancer treatment, bassist of Blink 182. I've seen Blink 182 live, one of my fave concerts of all time. I saw them with at Darien Lake. It was Blink 182 and Panic at the Disco and somebody else that was awesome that I don't remember who it was. Yeah, Melissa is 20% African, true. 20% like Congo, Africa. We're talking like deep, deep Africa. Yeah, she's Native American, Taino Indian. She's African and Spanish. That's my wife. That's also why you catch me looking at people when they say certain things the wrong way. Yeah, no, it's true, Ice Wolf. Alkaline Trio, there you go. My first concert was Weezer and Atari Teenage Riot. The statues that are coming, like they're tearing down the Columbus statues in America. They're tearing down the Civil War statues in America. I wasn't allowed to comment on these before. But hey, Dave, how you doing, bud? By the way, I just realized it was you. Here's my view. And now that I have my own show, I can express myself. I'm not hamstrung by my last company, and I'm not going to get opinionated on you, my friends. But I do have and Brent did hit on something that I do want to be able to explain. That one night we did get into this a little bit, and this is non-political. This is actually just historical for me. Some of the things that are going on, I don't agree with. While I have a certain political view, I'm not going to share it with you. Most of you know what it is. I don't. This is not a politics show. This is us talking about life, collecting, and everything. But part of that is the life aspect. And I'm going to give you an example. And this is something I was not really allowed to go into detail with at my last employment because it's not the place for it. I have that ability now. And it's something that I feel is important that needs consideration. A lot of these hot button topics have two sides to them. And no matter what side you're on, you're always going to think the other side is wrong. I look at things a little more openly, or at least I try to. While I do have my opinions, I still try to view through the other lens. And one opinion that I have that actually kind of bridges with the other side is I'm going to give you an example. In Tampa, just by Tampa, there is a Confederate graveyard. The graveyard consists entirely of fallen Confederate soldiers. At the graveyard, they fly a Confederate flag. I am going to go on record saying I'm not a fan of what that flag has become symbolically of. With that said, I don't believe they should be taking down that flag. And here's why. And please follow me and understand that I'm saying this with love. I'm former military. I have acquaintances who died in the military. I had 2 pilots on my aircraft carrier die in front of us. We had another shipmate jump overboard and kill himself. So there are people who died in the service. The Civil War happened. That's a fact. Nothing is ever going to change it. There was a North, there was a South. The South lost. The North won. The battle flag of some of the armies of the South was the Confederate flag. The people buried in that cemetery died for their country at that time in American history. The South was its own country. It had its own president. It had its own flag. The Confederate flag was not the actual flag of the South. If you go through history, you'll find it was a battle flag. The South had its own flag that was different. The Confederacy was a country. Those men died fighting for that country. Whether you believe in what they believe in, that doesn't matter in this point. It's not about what you believe in. It's the fact that they died for their flag. That cemetery, which only houses Confederate soldiers, should fly the flag that those soldiers died for. And here's why I say that. If Canada invaded America, besides being the most polite war ever, sorry, man. Oh, sorry, friend. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to shoot you, eh? Oh, so sorry, hoser. Yeah, bud, gotta kill you now, sorry. Besides it being the politest attack ever on America, if I took up arms for the U.S., which, I mean, even at my old age, I'd still try, and I died defending America, and if Canada took over America, I would not want the Canadian flag flying over my grave. I would want the American flag that I fought and died for flying over my grave. Think about that. It's true. While I do not support the symbolism and ideology that has come to be associated with the Confederate flag, I respect the soldiers, and it is solely a Confederate soldier gravesite. It is not a civilian site. Those soldiers should be due the decency of having the flag of the country they died for flying above them. The argument could be made that you remove the Confederate flag and remove the Confederate flag and put the former Confederate state flag up there. I'm not going to get into that semantics. But that was the battle flag that they carried into battle. You should have the flag of the country that you died for flying above your final resting place. It's a respect issue. You don't have to respect the symbolism, but that is my opinion. And that is a different opinion because not everybody was in the military. And maybe not a lot of people have stopped and thought about why that flag is there. But that flag got a lot of criticism. And that flag is a hot point subject down there. Now, I don't know if they made them take it down or not. But when I saw that flag, I was at first enraged by it, admittedly. And then I did my own research and I asked, why is it there? And then I found out the truth of why that flag was there. And that it flew over a solely Confederate gravesite. And with acquiring that knowledge and looking inward and thinking about it, I said, you know what? That maybe is the only place that that flag should fly appropriately. And I'm okay with that one there. Um, Again, I'm a New Yorker. You can guess where I sit on most other issues. But that is one where I do reach across the aisle and understand. So I just want to give you guys, and I know that's probably not a tangent you wanted me to go on, but I just want to give you guys a heads up on that there can be little pieces that seem terrible that have good reasoning behind them. Those who do not learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. That is a fact. Unfortunately, here in the U.S., there are things happening right now that people are just not looking at the past and seeing how that things didn't work. And and I'm not going to get political, but something's got to change soon, or it's going to be messy again. But I digress. Let's get back to the topics at hand. Hey, it's your show. Go on any tangent you want. It's weird because, like, first of all, I don't like to get into that sort of thing. To me, that conversation was not actually a political conversation. That is a military conversation. That is a conversation about people's last rites as fallen soldiers. To me, that wasn't a political conversation. That is, if a Spanish soldier dies on American soil, he should not have. Thank you, Greek. I appreciate it. They shouldn't have the American flag flying over their grave. That patriot of Spain should have the Spanish flag. As a matter of fact, in St. Augustine, there is a plot of land that is still owned by Spain. Google this. You will find I'm telling you the truth. There is a tiny plot of land in St. Augustine, Florida, that is still the property of Spain. That is it's a marked but undetermined site of where Spanish soldiers were buried. And Spain still owns that little tiny 80-foot by 80-foot plot. And the Spanish flag flies on that plot. And that's the way it should be. Creepa, I'm going to agree with you to an extent. There are some people that are understanding under the age of 30, but a lot of them, it's some of the newer generation is not taking the time to look at the other side. I'm only 40. I'm only 10 years outside of that. But I even see my younger siblings. No, Greek, that's very, very true as well. I have a sibling. I'm not going to say which one it is because I have 4. I have a sibling who will parrot things that they hear on the radio or TV and don't understand what they're saying. I'm older. I'm 40. I was around pre-internet. We had to look up our own stuff in books, and that's kind of how I still do things. Now, instead of looking at books, I do go to the internet, but I check sources. No, Brent, you're good, dude. So it is what it is. But yeah, things can be a lot more complicated than one side or the other. I know, right? The internet, which was originally invented to share scientific information and news, that's literally the invention of the internet. I believe the original definition of the internet, I don't remember if it was the patent for it or whatever, 'cause I don't think it was ever patented. Whatever it was, the original proclamation of the internet was to share scientific data. Google this. I know I'm right here. The internet was invented for science. It was to make scientific and medical breakthroughs accessible across the planet at the click of a button. But very quickly it became AOL chat rooms. But the original purpose for the internet was actually scientific exploration and the sharing of knowledge. Yeah, the echo chambers are a big deal, and Reddit has its echo chambers, and CNN has their echo chambers, and Fox News has their echo chambers. It's not one side or the other. The echo chambers exist everywhere. If you find that you're following, and this is why I stress to everybody, follow artists, follow creators. Don't just follow political figures and news sources. If you follow multiple different cultural people and attaches, cultural attache to Greece, the Goldmans, the G is silent. Sometimes I don't know where I am until somebody pronounces my name. If anybody names that movie, I effing love you. My favorite movie of all time. My number one movie of all time, hands down. I just quoted it. Mel doesn't count. If she answers this, then she's cheating because she already knows. But they all have their echo chambers, and it's not healthy. You need to branch. Like there's times where I'll watch different news sources just to see what they're saying. Honestly, and this is bonkers. Al Jazeera is probably the least biased. Al Jazeera is people don't like it because it's called Al Jazeera. That's what it boils down to. But it is world news. You're going to get non-biased world news, with the exception of reporting on Israel and Palestine. Everything else coming from Al Jazeera is going to be true. BBC is very interesting because BBC doesn't care and they don't have restrictions. Australian Embassy? Take it. I would love to go to some of them. Yes, Creepa, correct. Oh goodness, that Greek, that still was kind of funny. For as face palm as it is, it was still funny. But yeah, I have really diversified who I follow, and you get a lot of interesting information from all sides, and you stay outside of the echo chamber. Casually insulting his boss. I love it. I never watched a lot of Canadian TV. I do know a lot of Ontario people watch Buffalo News. As a matter of fact, one of the greatest human beings on the earth, if you sit and listen to the man speak outside of movies and listen to how he philosophically pontificates on subjects, Mr. Keanu Reeves, huge fan of the Buffalo News and specifically anchor Irv Weinstein, Irv Weinstein, freaking legend. Ron Burgundy, nothing on Irv Weinstein. Hockey Night in Canada, that's just pure bliss. They get a lot of their news from us, back when news was less biased. There you go, Wolf. Keanu was in the movie Youngblood. Youngblood, Doan, nobody knows that movie but us. Only hockey players watched Youngblood. I remember watching Youngblood because there's a certain scene in there, and I was, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years old when that came out, and we were like, oh, that scene. But man, that's old-time hockey, man. Yeah, you can score, but can you fight? He'll never get drafted in the first round. He can't fight. What a concept. Not a great movie by any standards. But oh my God, everybody here has to watch it. Here's your homework, ladies and gentlemen. Caution, you might see boobies. Youngblood. Gibbs Slapshot is an absolute classic, without a doubt. Hanson Brothers. Go watch Youngblood. It's available everywhere. It is a very young and attractive cast. Keanu Reeves is in it. What's the name of the main guy? He's literally a great actor. Oh, there you go, Sean. I love you, Sean, by the way. Is that it, Greek? I think Greek found it for us. Patrick Lazy Swayze. And there was somebody else, too. It was Swayze, Keanu, and what's his name? From, I want to say Parks and Rec, right? What's his name in it, too? I can't remember his name. Rob Lowe. Yeah, Rob Lowe. That's it. That's why I couldn't remember his name. It's worth listen. It's a bad movie, guys, gals, ladies, gentlemen. It's a bad movie. It's not well made. It's not. It's fantastical, but it's funny because, to a degree, it's semi-true. Back in the 70s and 80s, even if you were a goal scorer, you at least had to know throw a punch or two. Wayne Gretzky was even in a fight. Wayne Gretzky was in a very bloody fight, one of his only fights, because Wayne Gretzky getting into a fight triggered everybody to get into a fight. But that was the rules of hockey. In the 70s and 80s, you had to be able to throw a punch. I mean, come on, the Gordie Howe hat trick is known as getting a goal, an assist, and a fight. And that's Gordie freaking Howe, Mr. Hockey. Nope, never bothered. Just look it up, Brent. I'm sure it's on somewhere. It's a cult classic, Youngblood. It does have a nude scene in it. I don't remember how graphic the nude scene is, but I remember seeing it and going, "Oh my god, nudity! I'm like 7." But it's a must-watch. Every hockey player, anybody who played hockey, has seen Youngblood. It's a fact. You will not find even now. You'll find an 18-year-old hockey player that is like, "Oh yeah, I saw that. It's a classic." Does anybody know how many Gordie Howe hat tricks Gordie Howe had? Please tell me you have that number. Yes, Keanu was an actual hockey player. Yep. He still rates higher than Yoga Hosers. Oh, God. Okay, all right. Okay, Greek, this is a guess. Pure guess. Gordie Howe hat tricks by Gordie Howe. 9. Two. Really? How do you get something named after you and you only have 2 of them? Well, he did. I imagine he got into a lot of fights. They just assumed since he does all 3 of those well, that would be the hat trick. Oh, I'm looking at your guys' Legos right now. I'm gonna put my hands on camera so that you don't think I'm doing anything naughty. But my God, look at those Legos. Oh man. Oh, Belinda, those are yours. I didn't see the picture attached to them. I'm just sitting here looking at these logos like, oh, those are Legos. Is that a Ducati? Yeah, I love Ducatis. I love Ducatis. And the problem is, if I ever got a motorcycle, I'd want to get a Ducati, and if I ever got a Ducati, I'd be dead in a week. And a cross check to the face. That's about right. Rick Tocchet, 18 Gordie Howe hat tricks. Doan, were we not talking about Rick Tocchet today? How funny that Rick Tocchet comes into the podcast by somebody not named you. That's right. You're right, Dave. Legos is not a word. You're right. You are correct. I make that mistake all the time. I do. Yeah, it's not the Ducati I'm talking about. I want a real Italian bird. Oh, okay. That's true. But still, it's awesome that he showed up in our convo. Yeah, I will tell you, and this is not biased. Doan, awesome dude. He's a fantastic person to talk to, very knowledgeable individual. Um if you ever need a tour of Lockport, man, we're gonna have to start renting that guy out. We put some miles in, but man, we got to see some great stuff. Got some great. He's full of information. So another shout out to you, Doan. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you. You know what? I bet you do. Dom's Charger. Ooh, excuse me. I walked more today than I have in a long time. Yeah, we try to make it fun. Jimmy behaved himself. Shout out to my son James, behaving himself, being a good boy. He did a lot of walking today, and he handled it like a champ. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already asleep. I'm sure if we took the tablet away and turned the lights off, he'd be asleep right now with how much he walked. But speaking of sleep, I've been live for 2 hours and 5 minutes. You know what, we're gonna cut it loose, guys. Listen, for those who have Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, get Instagram. Most of my updates will be via Instagram next week. If I go live, there may be some surprises there for you. So, I highly recommend, if you don't have Instagram, get it. And if you do have it and aren't following me, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, follow me. You're welcome, Brent. And as always, 17,355 steps. I'll have to check mine. Mine passively does it. Ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every one of you. I do. It's true. Thank you for spending your evening with me. And for those who are watching this in video, thank you for spending your time with me. Next week is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of exciting things that I just can't tell you about. But stay tuned to my social media because I will be leaking information all week. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we can do this again within the next week and a half. So please be safe. Hang in there for my people that are under quarantine again, for my people that are locked in the house again. I'm here with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Eventually it's gonna have to end. We're gonna get through this. Baby steps. Delta's giving us a bit of a step back, but stay strong. We've done it before. There's just a very short amount to go. I mean, the light at the end of the tunnel is pretty darn bright right now, and for once in our lives, it's not a train. Be safe, everybody.